I'm always surprised at the features that make it into the Adobe RAW editors as fast as they do. They're doing things I would have never thought would be inside of a RAW editor. And that's true of a new feature in Adobe Camera Raw. It's a remove feature, and it actually removes people from your photos. And again, I never quite thought that those features would make it into the RAW editors, and certainly not as fast as they are. This is a technology preview that's inside of Adobe Camera Raw. I'll show you how to turn it on in just a second here, but I know the questions will come up. It is not in Lightroom yet. It is preview, which kind of almost in my mind means beta in a way. Works very, very good, but if you are a Lightroom user, these features eventually seem to make it over into Lightroom once they're proven stable and trustworthy to make it out into all the different apps there. But if you are a Lightroom user, you know, just either open up a photo in Camera Raw, give it a try, or just wait. But this is not a workflow where you should be trying to use both programs together. They simply aren't made to do that. But definitely worth checking out the new feature. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, I've got a photo open in Adobe Camera Raw. That's where the new feature is. Important to note, so Adobe Camera Raw is the raw editor for Photoshop. It's very similar to Lightroom's edit tools. When you go to Photoshop File Open, if you open up a raw file, it's there. There's also an option under the filter menu, but there's a little gear icon in the top right corner of Camera Raw. And Adobe's been doing these technology previews in Camera Raw more and more. And I don't think it's not some big conspiracy theory. They're not trying to get you to use Camera Raw and ditch Lightroom or something like that. It's just, I think Camera Raw is a little bit of a playground, and these are essentially beta features that you have to turn on. You've got to come in here and turn this on and say, yes, I want to go ahead and try these features out there. I understand that they're previews and I want to do that. Okay, so some of them, we'll go ahead and turn that on and click OK. Some of them require a raw photo, and it's been covered videos similar to this in the past when those features came out. This feature actually doesn't. Okay, this feature doesn't require a raw photo. Now, one thing that has been in Camera Raw, just made it over into Lightroom in this February 2025 update, is adaptive profiles. If you go to your profile section and it is a raw file and you've downloaded the update, of course, this isn't a beta or a technology preview feature. It's called adaptive, and you click on it. Actually, it's a profile. It's in a sense like a preset. It's almost like clicking auto on your photo, but it's doing something a little bit different. It's a different starting place. You'll notice when I click on a profile, it doesn't move any of my adjustment sliders where auto or doing a preset does. But anyway, that's just to say that feature has been in Camera Raw for a little while. It did make it over into Lightroom in this latest update, but they tell you use it on landscape photos. It works pretty good on this photo, considering I haven't even touched an adjustment slider yet. But let's head over to the little eraser remove tools here. And when you click on that leftmost tool, you'll see distraction removal at the bottom. Reflections was something introduced a while back where you can actually remove reflections in windows and things. But people is the new one in here. So you roll that down, it's going to automatically detect people in the photo. Interesting thing that I noticed was I had said that you don't need a raw file for this. I tried the same exact photo as a JPEG and it didn't find these people here. So I don't totally understand what's going on there, but just know I'm getting better results on the photos that I try that are raw photos, although it will work on a JPEG photo as well. So it gives you this little overlay. There's not too much you can do with this. It's going to go in there and try to find distractions in the photo, again, specifically people, and then you just click on remove, and it will go in there and remove those people from the scene. And as you'll see, to me, the one key area is down here where there's that fence. By the way, this was my son last year on his graduation day. Very proud of him. But you can see down here, there's that little fence down there, and it did a pretty good job. I don't think most people would ever know that there was anything done inside of here. This area over here, it seems to have generated something. Again, it did a good job on the fence, but a couple other things in there that might not work for you. And then it did leave a little bag on the scene. Remember, this is just people removal, so you would have to go back over to your other tools and you could use just the remove tool and just go in there and paint over that bag and it'll get rid of it. And if you ever wanted to delete any of those, you can just click on that little eraser icon and hit the delete key and that gets rid of it. Like all Camera Raw adjustments, this is all non-destructive. So if I were to close this photo, click on done or whatever that happens to be, come back and open up this raw photo later on again, I would come back inside of here and I would be able to see all of the things that I did and also go in there and adjust, remove, delete, regenerate, do anything that I wanted to do on the photo, because we are in the Camera Raw world, meaning everything is always non-destructive when you're working in this window. As I mentioned earlier, these are technology previews, seems to be like almost a little bit of a testing ground, very similar to the adaptive profiles. They were a feature that was only in Camera Raw, and they actually just made it into the full versions and all your versions of Lightroom. In fact, if you wanted to see everything that's new inside of Lightroom, I've got a video here for you, and that would be a great place to go to next.